noble way of living. Today we'll be cooking tofu stroganoff with a zucchini mint salad. What ingredients do we need to use first?
Well, for the stroganoff, you're going to need some unsweetened soy milk, a vegan butter, a vegan sour cream, white wine vinegar, olive oil, soy sauce, some cornstarch, some sea salt, some black pepper, a little bit of cumin powder, some fresh garlic, fresh basil leaves, fresh ginger, an onion, about 16 ounces of button mushrooms, fresh parsley, 1 package of bow tie pasta, and 2 blocks of tofu. And for our side dish, we're going to have a cold salad, and the ingredients you're going to be needing for that are going to be some black pepper, some sea salt, olive oil, 3 zucchinis, 3 carrots, 3 green onions, 2 bunches of fresh mint, and 1 large lemon. You have to start by putting your tofu in the freezer the night before, and then in the morning take it out and thaw it. And the reason you're going to do this is because it changes the texture. We're going to cube our tofu into nice sort of bite-sized pieces. And then we're going to be putting this over here in a flat pie pan so that your marinade covers all of the parts of your tofu. And now we're going to be making the marinade. We're just going to be needing soy sauce and ginger and a little bit of water. So first, we need to get the skin off the ginger. And you're going to try to find a fairly big chunk of ginger because we're going to need to grate it. You want to take the very fine edge of your grater, and you're just going to start off by grating this. And we're going to need about 2 tablespoons. Now be careful because you can end up with finger in here, and that would not be vegetarian. So we go ahead and put that in here. And next you're going to need about 1/2 cup of soy sauce. So you just go ahead and pour that in there as well. If you can do this in a nice shallow pan, another 1/2 cup of water. You want to be able to really cover your tofu. So we'll start off with that and see if that's enough.
So, that one will have to marinate for a while, right?
Right. You can do it for about an hour, maybe 2 hours. So we're going to get started on our salad. And most of it's been chopped here already, but I'm going to go ahead and do a couple here for you so that you can see about the width that you want. And it needs to be pretty thin, especially for the carrots, because the carrots, although we're going to blanch them for a couple of minutes, it's going to take a little bit longer to get them to be a little bit soft. There's just enough water in here to blanch these, so it doesn't have to be a full pot of water. I'm going to add some salt. We'll put our carrots in. And the zucchini, you also want to have cut thin, but it doesn't matter quite as much because it's a softer vegetable, and so it's going to blanch a lot faster. And the whole idea around blanching is that you have a crisp vegetable that's not completely raw, but it's also not cooked. We'll put all of our zucchini in. Make sure that it's up on high flame. So we're going to let that boil for a couple of minutes, no more. Now, the other ingredients that we need to chop are fresh mint, and you're going to need about, 1.5 cups of fresh mint. You will need to take the leaves off the stem because the stems are tough and they don't really add to the flavor. We're just going to chop this up. It doesn't have to be that fine, just sort of in ribbons. looks good.
I'm gonna go hug my dog and we'll be right back. Vegetables. What do we do next, Ariana?
Well, I'm going to let you go ahead and put these vegetables in the salad bowl. We're going to take our 3 green onions and we're going to quickly chop those up and add them in. I get a little bit of the green part here too, just for color. So you can go ahead and add those in. And we're also going to add the fresh mint. She's going to toss while I make our salad dressing. 3/4 of a cup of olive oil and some lemon juice, a little bit of salt, and black pepper. I just take the juice from 1 lemon, squeeze it in there, and some cracked pepper. And this is just some organic black peppercorn, a little bit of salt, a pinch really. Just stir this up a little bit. And once you've added the dressing, we'll toss that a little bit more. It goes into the refrigerator. You want it to be chilled, so that'll stay there while we make our stroganoff.
We're pretty much done with the salad. Can we start the stroganoff now?
Yeah. Let's get our pan started. Enough to cover the bottom of your pan. So we're going to let that heat up. And actually have a cup of finely diced onion ready to go. But I'm going to go ahead and show you about the size that you need for your onion. And you're going to slice it thin so that you can really get a fine dice. Cut it in half. So you get nice little pieces there. We're going to go ahead and put these in and bring that to a lower flame. I'm going to let you stir that. We're going to cook those until they're about translucent before we start really adding any liquid. We're going to be putting in some fresh garlic. Now this one's already been peeled. This is a neat trick that somebody showed me. If you'll press this, the skin comes right off. Cut the end. Done. This is wonderful. It's our garlic press. Put them both in here. It crushes our garlic really nicely. And that's going to stir that in evenly. Next, you're going to want to have about 16 ounces of chopped button mushrooms. Well, I say chopped, but really what I like to do is I like to just slice them. Well, you want to get the tough part off. And then you're going to slice. I do it this way for obvious reasons so the stalk doesn't break. And that way you get these really nice mushroom-shaped pieces. You can go ahead and add the mushrooms in and get that on a pretty low flame so that nothing burns. Now we're going to do a kind of a white wine substitute so that we don't have to use any alcohol. We can still get the flavor. This is a very nice organic white wine vinegar. Just about a tablespoon. And then we're just going to add water. Only 1 cup. So we're going to go ahead and add that in. She's going to stir that up a little bit more and we're going to cover it and set it aside.
So how long should we let this simmer for?
About 5 minutes. And we're just going to put a little bit of cumin This is a strong spice, so just a sprinkling while that's while that's simmering. And we're going to take our fresh basil. Here, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A couple extra just for fun. And we're going to chop that first into ribbons. So that we get kind of square pieces here. Doesn't have to be too fine. And here is our marinated tofu. And really, it only needs to marinate for an hour, but it can marinate for a lot longer. It just depends on how much time you have. And we've strained the marinade out here because we're going to use some of that in our sauce. Now, the other things that we're going to need to add to the sauce are some unsweetened soy milk. And once we've added this in, then we can add the basil. Go ahead and sprinkle that in. You don't really want to boil this though, so you just bring it up until it, exactly. Then we can turn it back down. Now, we're going to take just a little bit of our marinade. That's about 1/4 cup. Along with some cornstarch. We're going to mix that. And this is just to help thicken it right near the end. Now we're going to use our wonderful vegan sour cream. And this calls for about 4½ cups.
So do you serve this stroganoff on something? This sounds like a pretty saucy dish.
I've chosen a bow tie pasta because it's cute and it's formal. So here we have some boiling water. Put that in. And stir it, and we'll keep that on the back burner while we finish up with everything else. And I'll turn this down once it starts to boil again. And we're going to add in our sour cream, our soy sour cream, vegan sour cream. And you need about 4½ cups worth, which just happens to be 3 containers of this better than sour cream. And truly it is better because it tastes just like sour cream without any of the health hazards. And we're going to stir that in carefully. I'm going to add in our thickener here. So the reason you're bringing this up, it's not so that it'll boil, but just so that the cornstarch can activate. Last but not least, I like to do a little bit of vegan butter and a little bit of parsley on my noodles. So just about 1 cup of parsley. And I'm going to go ahead and chop that up pretty finely. We'll let you keep stirring that because it's going to start to boil. So now we're going to be putting the tofu in, which has to be done gingerly because you don't want it to break up. So I'm going to ask you to just stir a little bit slower now. This has to be frozen first because once it changes to a more spongy texture, it soaks up the marinade a lot more. I've found that people who really have told me they don't like tofu at all love this dish. So our bow tie pasta is ready now. And we're going to take some vegan butter and I'd say about 1 tablespoon and fold that in so that it just kind of coats everything. And then I'm going to put in some parsley. And we're just going to let this simmer for another maybe 5 minutes, and then we'll be ready to retrieve our salad and to serve dinner.
Is it time to eat now?
Yeah, I guess she's worked hard enough, we'll let her eat something. What do you want? Oh, she goes for the stroganoff. I guess I should try the salad. Let's see what happens to her first.
Wow, this is really good.
All right, I'm glad. Let's see how this tastes. Really refreshing.
Thank you for joining us on Vegetarianism, the Noble Way of Living, for tofu stroganoff and zucchini mint salad.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Great to work with you. See you again soon.